Greetings, programs, and welcome to day 7 of Prime Time. This video is clutch, because something I needed for this video was almost delivered. It was supposed to have been here, like, the beginning of last week. It went through Troutdale, Oregon, went to Kent, Washington, and then went back to Troutdale, Oregon. So, I am actually recording this barely in time to shoot, edit, and get this going. So if I'm a little hurried feeling while I do this, that's why. But today we are going to look at two figures, the first of which is Transformers Power of the Primes Leader Class Optimus Prime. And this figure is so good. Now, yes, this truck mode, not the best. I'm just going to go ahead and pop the trailer off now. Trailer is pretty alright. You know, I like the nice, shiny stickers. Hitch is just this little peg right here. The gun storage is actually pretty neat, where there's two pegs right there that peg into the sides of the gun. I'm not going to pull the gun out just yet, because I have to transform a lot of the trailer to get to it. So, you do kind of lock down the gun in this mode, but it's fine. It's still cool. It's a good trailer. There's no way to prop it up. So, but the weak part is the cab mode. You know, there is just a lot of obvious, you know, kibbles and bits hanging out on this thing. And so, you know, I'm not going to deny that. It's a little rough. But this thing will make up for it very soon. Now, as you can see, poking out through here, this figure does have a Matrix of Leadership that apparently has a hair on it. The Matrix is removable. Just a nice silver mold with orange. Well, this piece that's clear blue and then painted orange. But what you can do is actually push this piece out, and then you can take, you know, a Titan Master, a Prime Master, whatever, fold them up and put them in here. So that's a thing you can do. This is really just kind of a for fun, you know, accessory. It doesn't serve any purpose. No figures have hands that can hold it or anything. But it's there, and it's pretty cool. And you can see the upside-down Optimus head. Hooray! So, go ahead and get this back in here to cover that up. Close that up. So, we're going to get down to transforming the cab in its standalone mode. And what's cool about that is that this is more or less a Digivolving Transformer. So, the cab on its own is actually going to become Orion Pax. If you didn't see my video on my actual Orion Pax video, that is young Optimus before he got the Matrix. So, transforming him into Orion Pax, really simple. Come down here, flip up the side wheels. Then, these pieces here are on a double hinge that you'll just rotate out and around. And they don't tab in or anything here, but they are, you know, like stopping points on their hinges. So they do hold in place very well. Split the arms right here. Rotate them out to the side. Come down here. Fold up the chest. It will tab in on both sides. Then bring down the head. And that will sort of lock in. Flip out his hands. Finish getting his arms positioned. Come down here. Fold down the legs. Unpeg them from each other. Rotate them around, and fold out the feet. And there you have him in Orion Pax mode. And this is a fantastic version of Orion Pax. Yes, he's got a bit of backpack. That kind of happens with Transformers in general. But as its own figure, it's really good. It's a wonderful representation of the G1 version of Orion Pax that you got to see in, I think, one flashback episode. Clear chest piece, yellow paint there, stickers on his shins. Like, he's not the most painted thing, but he's got paint where he needs it. And he looks really good. So, articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you get up and down, tiny bit of side to side, full rotation. Shoulders are also on a ball joint. They go out about that far. His shoulder piece does get in the way a bit. Full rotation. He's got a bicep swivel, double hinged elbow for really great range of motion there. And then you can untransform his hand and break his wrist. The leg is kind of interesting because it's on a ball joint there for the hip, but then it's pegged into this piece that's also on a rotation. So he can kick forward that far, and kick back that far if you bring his leg out to get out of the way. Not quite the full splits. Hopefully you can't hear the people being very loud outside my door. Thigh swivel right there. 90-degree bend at the knee. And you have a toe bend. So, again, really, really fantastic representation of the character. And go ahead and arm him up. His gun is actually in two halves, so kind of perfectly, you can just pull off the front half, and that is Orion Pax's little blaster, which looks a lot like the blaster that came with the Generations Orion Pax. So you can go ahead, drop the figure, give him the blaster, and he looks pretty good. Now, get him into his next mode. First thing we're going to do is fold his arms back up. Open up the head. Open the chest. Fold out the Optimus Prime head. Rotate that around. Turn the Orion Pax head around. Fold that up into the back. Just get the arms kind of situated right there. Fold up his feet. And then there are these little tabs sticking out by his wheels. So you're going to rotate his legs up, and then those tabs will go right there in his chest. And give it a nice squeeze, and there you have the Optimus Cube. So, getting this out of the way, and the gun, we're going to come to the trailer. And I love the way this trailer works. So, first thing you're going to want to do, come down here, just start opening panels. Some of these panels do hold in very tightly on mine. But open them up. Don't fold them up all the way. You'll see why in a moment. Do that. Come down here. Get the lower half of the figure to unpeg from itself. Open these up. Go ahead and shift down the feet on their double hinge. Open these panels up all the way, completely flat. Fold these pieces up. split the legs, which are very tight on mine. Then collapse these panels up along the back side of the legs. And this little piece will peg in right in here to hold that all in place. Same thing on the other side. Adjust the camera because this is about to get very tall. Come up here and just kind of start working things until you're able to rotate the arms apart from each other. Go ahead and get the back half of the gun off. You can see there's either a hole there or there, so 2 spots that you can peg it in the truck mode. I prefer using that one so it stands up a little more. Fold up the trailer hitch, and it will go completely flush on the top there. Rotate the arm up, rotate it, or fold this panel up, rotate it down, fold the arm back, come back here, fold out the smokestack, fold this panel up, collapse it back down. That will bring out this little hook that will then hook on right there on that panel. And that keeps the arm all in place. So, same thing over here. Pivot the arm, close that panel, come back here, smokestack, out, back and close, rotate, back of the arm, little panel, side panel, and then these pieces do tab in right there. The one on this side doesn't want to go quite all the way in on mine, and like the amount of force that I have to put on it to get it even slightly in there, not good with that. And then you're going to want to straighten out his legs if they haven't just kind of gone straight on you while you're doing this. Worth noting, while this is in the trailer mode, you actually bend the knees slightly backwards and then put the hips backwards 1 click. So you're just going to go ahead and undo that. Then you'll just take your Optimus brick and push it in through the back here. When you want to take it out, there's a little release lever right there. But there you have Leader Class Optimus Prime. And this figure is easily one of the best. This is just a fantastic figure. One of the best Optimus Primes, probably the best figure in the whole Power of the Primes line. Just a great figure overall. Then, of course, you can go ahead, peg the gun halves back together, give him his big Optimus blaster, and there's really not a whole lot to say. This thing is just so cool. As you can see, he keeps the same one shoulder Autobot symbol. They are stickers for both modes. There is supposed to be a sticker there on the forearm. Mine didn't come with the sticker. Oh well. Yellow on the crotch pad is painted silver down here on the shins. Yeah, he's got quite a bit of gray, and he's got, semi-visible Orion Pax legs on his back. These are very easy to look at and just tell yourself it's a jetpack. These don't bug me. The gray pieces don't bug me. I hear a lot of people saying like they should have painted these blue on the backside. It doesn't work because of the way these fold up. If you paint the parts that are only visible here blue, you're still going to have just bits of silver shining through all over. So I'd frankly rather have it gray instead of, giving it this weird, half and half thing. Worth noting, mine does have a little bit weak ankle joints at some angles, so he can be a tiny bit heavy to get standing. So you will see me holding him basically the whole time. But he's so cool. Articulation-wise, ball joint on the head once again, a little bit of wiggle, bit of up and down, rotation, full rotation at the arms, outward movement, lots of outward movement if you move this shoulder pad piece, bicep swivel, little over 90 degrees at the arm, no wrist articulation sadly, nothing at the waist because of how this all works, but he can kick forward that far, backward that far. That joint is a ratchet, by the way. He can do the full splits. He's got a rotation right there, right at the hip. A little bit past 90 degrees at the knee. Then that double joint at the ankle, so you get forward, back, up and down, and an ankle tilt. So, yeah, this thing is just really, really great. And I cannot recommend this enough. This is easily one of the greatest Optimus Prime figures I've ever seen. Optimus is definitely a character where, at least for me, his figures are always, by default, better just by being leader class. He's the only character where, yes, I want leader class. It gives him a presence. It makes his figures better. But, like I said, I'm looking at two figures today. So, this figure was actually remolded in Japan and became Star Convoy. Now, as you can see, first off the bat, the truck mode is a little bit better. Not much has changed here. Most changes are in the cab. But we'll bring it in. As you can see, the cab, it's got the visible pieces are still there, but they're more squared off. So they do look a little better. Nice shiny stickers. These actually you have to apply on this figure, which was very nerve-wracking. Same gun placement. New Autobot logos up there. And then the main thing is this new shiny piece here. We'll get to that. First, not really going to go step by step through his transformations. Everything is exactly the same. He does have a different matrix of leadership worth mentioning. This thing is completely chromed out. It's one piece. And if I can get it out, it's actually just got a slot on the bottom that goes down over this to get it in there. This does actually serve a purpose outside of this mode, so I'm going to go ahead and actually remove it from his chest. As well as this version of the figure, instead of this piece turning into Orion Pax, here it's actually just straight up Optimus Prime. I know, spoiler, as I'm in the middle of transforming him through the exact same process I did on the other one. But, yeah, it's just, everything's basically identical. While the chest, and, is a new piece, it still tabs in the exact same spots. Not a lot of differences to really go over here, other than the fact that now it's Optimus Prime. And it looks great. Everything is painted on this version of the figure, this mold. Only those, trailer stickers are, well, stickers. But yeah, it's the same posability. Fantastic mold. I love this metallic blue on the chest. The way this chest is molded, it actually makes me think of Power Master Optimus. A lot of people have said that this figure, hello, this thing should have been Power Master Prime. Especially with this version of the main, trailer cab body. yeah, you totally could have just done Power Master Prime this way instead, and it would have been great. But either way, looks really cool. It's a little bit more solid, just because this is a Takara figure. Posability, everything, like I said, exactly the same. But this is a great version. I know, I need to stop calling it Optimus. This is Convoy, but this is a great version of Convoy. So, get him ready to combine with his trailer, just like the other guy. Come in here, pull out the head, which right now, God, just shout out, love that chrome and gold head crest there. Pull up the Optimus head. It's the same thing again. Now, for the curious, at least as I understand, this figure, this, version of Optimus / Convoy, this is basically Superman Optimus Prime, where he got, actual cosmic power. So, this is, I've heard multiple people say this is arguably the single strongest version of Optimus. Because this is Optimus with the Infinity Gauntlet built into him. This thing's nuts power-wise. So, gonna come back here to the trailer. Most of the trailer is gonna happen the same way. The legs are completely identical. He is incredibly tight on mine, because, one, it's a Japanese figure. They tend to have a little bit tighter joints, in my experience, as well as I literally pulled him out of the box and checked him over, like, 5 minutes before starting this recording. So this is a minty fresh figure we're looking at. And sadly, I do have one small QC issue on him, but it's manageable. And later I will contact TF Source, see if I can source the part that's problematic, shall we say. But, like I said, the legs, everything down here, exactly the same. See if I can manage to actually get this transformed. Now, where it gets different is here. So, first thing I'm going to do is flip this piece down. This is the piece actually that I'm having trouble with, but it's also still one of the coolest pieces of this figure. Camera back up. Split the arms. Pull out the gun. Gun is exactly the same, by the way. So, same thing of rotate things out. These panels you do exactly the same way as the normal version of the figure. Though these ones do snap in much, much louder than my normal one. Ouch. Man, just crush my hand under that panel. Bring it out. Rotate it up. Bring the arm down into place. Then this panel flips forward, and he actually has shoulder guns, as well as this panel is very tight to get clipped in. And trailer hitch, same thing. Up, down, rotate, panel, point the turret out. Then this piece you're going to very carefully double hinge down and through the chest. So the way that this little piece is just flicking out on its own from tension, that's my QC issue. I don't know how to fix that myself, as well as it's ever so slightly stressing right there. This is a weird type of plastic that just immediately starts to split if it stresses too much. So that's a little bit of an issue I'm having. Keep an eye on that if you do go after this guy. But again, go ahead, just pop the cube into the chest. There's a little tab here that's supposed to come up and peg in right there in the center of the chest there. Because I can't get it to do that, I'm just using the tension to get it to sit up like that, which is working fine so far. And at the end of the day, this guy still looks absolutely amazing. You know, somehow I'll get this thing dealt with and fixed one way or another. Not too big of a deal to me, honestly. It'll stay there now. So, posability is exactly the same, so not really anything to go over there. But just look at this guy. He's got tons more paint, more colors going on, you know, chrome all over the place. He's just a fantastic, fantastic figure. And then, what his thing is you can take the matrix of leadership, which I'm pretty sure is like, you know, the cosmic matrix or something. It probably has a special name that I don't know. But you can actually put it into his guns in between and turn his gun into a matrix blaster. This is apparently a thing from the show that he's in. It's ridiculous, and it is so cool. You can aim these guns on his shoulders. They rotate and tilt up. Again, there aren't words for this. Just look at this thing. It's so cool. There's a reason that I'm not bothered by that little bit of QC issue. I'll figure it out. I don't care. This thing is incredible. Either way, either version of this figure you choose to get, you're gonna have a good time. Obviously, if you can, I would probably recommend the Star Convoy version a little bit more, though. Just because Star Convoy. I know, a little bit of a weird way to end this. When it's a really good figure, sometimes it's hard to find words. So, I will just let these absolute units stand here, be awesome, and speak for themselves. Now, I did shoot a small, backup video in case his delivery was late, which, thankfully, it wasn't, but, at 2 o'clock today, I'm going to put that video out, and then, I'm going to be taking a small break. This has been insane trying to get this week to go off without a hitch, especially when the mail fails you. But I will be back. I'm doing new stuff. I'm even going to be looking at, I'm going to finally start branching out of Transformers a little more. So I'm actually going to look at a whole bunch of different, digital pets. I've got Gigapet, I've got some Littlest Pet Shop stuff. I grew up loving Tamagotchis. I've got many Tamagotchis. And I think that'll be fun. I'm going to go through and look at those. There will still be at least one Transformers video a week, though, if not two. I also still really love Transformers. If anyone's able or wants to help out the channel, keep this stuff going, and maybe get a little bit better quality, I do have both a PayPal link in the description for, one-time stuff, as well as I do finally have a Patreon. So, if you want to be a little more long time, go ahead. Obviously, once I get a couple people on there, I will start figuring out how to do, the Patreon enroll. Because if anyone's doing that, they deserve to be thanked for it. And thank you to everyone else who's just been watching my crappy videos and leaving comments and sharing and stuff. It really does help things out. So, this has been ArcNeo Masato, and I will see you next time.